Hey again. So this vlog is going to be all about work. I am scatterbrained, so prepare for the scatterbrainness that is about to happen. Alright, so work, it's not in any particular order. I'm telling you that now. So the first thing is getting your schedule. Getting your schedule, there are two different ways to get your schedule. You can get your schedule at a nearby office. So each area has their own office. Like right now I work in Critter Country / New Orleans Square. And our office is in, Frontierland. I think it's Frontierland. Yeah. So our office is somewhere around there. So I can actually go into the office, find the binder of schedules with my name. Yeah. There's two different binders. But anyway, you find the binder with your name in it, and you can get your schedule, which is written in there. The other way is online. You can go onto any computer, whether it's on the Disneyland Resort property or anywhere else. The website is called The Hub. So if you ever hear anybody say something about The Hub, well, they're either talking about the website or The Hub, which is the center of right where Main Street is, right where the statue of Walt is. That's also considered The Hub. But anyway, the website, The Hub. Alright, so on there you can find just about any information you need about Disney. You can get, discounted price tickets on nearby fun things to do. You get your work schedule. You can find out what's new with Disney or anything that just happened, like events and stuff like that. So it's very informative, and you just gotta find what, you can find just about anything in there. But there's a separate link, and you just find out your schedule. You normally get if you go online, you'll normally get your schedule on Sunday, and at that Sunday you will have the schedule for the next 2 weeks. So come by Saturday, a lot of times you only know your schedule a week ahead. For requesting days off, you normally have to request them off, I believe, 3 weeks in advance. Yes, 3 weeks in advance, which really sucks. If you can't get your day off, what you do is you can trade shifts or give your shift away. A lot of people who work at the resort only get hours on the weekend. So there are a lot of people, like in the break rooms, or just anywhere inside your attraction or anywhere you work. There'll be people who have like little papers with their name and their number on it, and they'll say, I'll take mansion shifts for any weekday, and because they only work weekends, so they're trying to pick up any hours they can, and then you'd call that number and then give them your shift. Or you can talk to people. Let's just say you're scheduled at night and you wanted to work in the morning because you had something to go to that night. So you talk to people around the area, or like at Splash Mountain we have a whiteboard. People put their name, their number down, and then the shift they have, and then say what they want, saying like they want an earlier shift. And then so you can trade shifts that way, and that also has to be done online. I think it has to be done online. I'm not sure. It could probably be done in person, but it's done online. And so you can trade shifts, or you can give shifts away. Another thing about working is you can extend or have an early release, or ER, which means when you're working, let's just say the park closes tonight at 10 o'clock and I'm working till 10:30 because you work half an hour afterwards to help close. If the park hours are extended an hour, so like I said, if it was closed at 10, how did you say that? I don't know. Let's just say I said it closed at 10 and I'm supposed to work till 10:30. Park hours extend 1 hour, which means they close at 11, which means I now work at 11:30. I do not have a choice of whether I want to stay or not. I don't think I do. But you are automatically get that extra hour. Sometimes it's a good thing. You're like, hey, an extra hour. Sometimes you're just like, I want to go home. But yeah, so that's extending. There's also another extending, which is if you just want extra hours, or if they are running low on cast members, you can ask, hey, do you need more people, or do you need another person for these extra hours? Can I extend? So if you only have a 4-hour shift and you say, can I extend, they might be able to extend you an hour or two, or even a couple hours more than that, and you can get extra hours that way, and that's on the spot on that day that you're working. Say, can I extend? Early release, a lot of people love early release. That means you get to go home early. So if you are working an 8-hour shift, 4 hours into your shift, we're not as busy as we should be, we don't need as many cast members, your lead might ask you, would you like to ER, which means would you like to early release today, which means go home early. A lot of people love to go home early. Others say, hey, I need the hours, whatever. They cannot force you to ER because you are scheduled for those hours, you are guaranteed those hours. So I never early release because I need the money. I've only early released one time, and that's because they didn't need me and I had schoolwork to do. So that was because they asked. I will never ask to early release unless it was an emergency situation or I was extremely behind on schoolwork, which should not happen. Well, actually, it happens all the time, but because there's no teacher in my face, I just feel like it's not that much of importance, which is really bad. But anyway, alright, so another way, okay, so I talked about extending early release and requesting days off. The same way requesting days off, you can also request, hey, can I work a night shift or can I work a morning shift, blah, blah, blah. You can also make preferences, so if you work in more than one place. So I work Splash Mountain and Haunted Mansion, but being in attractions, I can also work Fantasmic and Parade shifts. So online, what you do is you have preferences, which means what you would you prefer to work at. I had preferenced Haunted Mansion first, then Parade shifts, which is also fireworks. Parade shifts, then Splash Mountain, then Fantasmic. I think I did it that way. And also special events, because attractions do special events as well, because it's all about guest control. And even though I did it in that order, that's not exactly what I want. So in the comments box, I said, because what they did is they ended up scheduling like Haunted Mansion for like 2 weeks, and then I moved to Splash Mountain, and I did not know when I was going to go back to Haunted Mansion, because I was scheduled for Splash Mountain for 3 weeks in a row, and I was like, when am I going to go back to Mansion? So that's when I ended up putting my preferences in, because I did not want to be working at one place for a whole month, and then not know when I was going to go back. So I preferenced, just whatever order, and then I said, can I have Haunted Mansion one day, then Splash Mountain the next, and then Parade shifts the next day. So far it's working for Splash and Mansion. However, I'm not getting any parade shifts, but I'm not going to complain about that, because normally parade shifts, you only like 4 to 6 hour shifts anyway. You don't get a full 8-hour shift, and I love Splash and Mansion anyway, so it's all good. Okay, let's do that. Getting paid for the internship. On the website, it says you would get paid between $8.68 an hour to $11.50 an hour. That's for the college program. You get paid less for being in the college program. I'm not going to say what I get paid, but it's not the lowest, but it's definitely not the highest. It also says that you work 28 to 32 hours per week. I do not work that. I work more than that. Depends on the season. If we're in season, we definitely have more people. In other words, if we were in summer, if we're near Halloween, if we're near Thanksgiving, if we're near Christmas, normally there's like a week or two in between that we aren't getting a lot of people. So those are the weeks that you have less hours, of course, because you don't need them. And then the weeks that are more towards a holiday or something that we end up getting a lot of people, those are the weeks that you'll end up getting, like 38 hours a week. Normally they try not to schedule you up to 40, because then if you happen to get extended, like I say, if a park hour is extended, because there's a lot of times park hours will be extending if there's a lot of people, and they'll just randomly extend it for an hour because they know people will want it to be extended. So let's just say they scheduled me 40 hours a week, and then two days in a row, let's say, they extended the park hours for 1 hour. That means I get 2 hours of overtime, and they don't want that. So that's why they always schedule you underneath. Like one time when I worked the Disney 23 Expo, the D23 Expo, they scheduled me 39.5 hours. I was like, seriously? 39.5 hours? I ended up getting extended anyway because they didn't realize how busy it was going to be, I guess. So I ended up getting 42 or 3 hours that week, which was really nice. It was really nice.